Eala seeded fourth in WTA Classic. Manila, Philippines. Alex Eala is seeded fourth in the WASB Classic starting Monday at the ASB Tennis Centre in Auckland, New Zealand. The tournament serves as one of Eala's warm-up tournaments for the highly anticipated Australian Open in Melbourne next week. Ranked number 53 in the Women's Tennis Association (WTA) rankings, the 20-year-old Filipina comes in only behind the top 3 seeds in Elena Svitolina, WTA number 14, of Ukraine, as well as the American pair of Emma Navarro, WTA number 15, and Iva Jovic, WTA number 35, as per the official draw Saturday. Also in the fray of the loaded main draw is the 45-year-old and 7-time major champion Venus Williams of the United States, who will also play in the Australian Open as a wild card along with Indonesia's Janice Tien, France's Varvara Gracheva, Croatia's Petra Marcinko, Hungary's Punna Udvardy and Mexico's Zarazua, whom Eala already faced in other WTA Tour legs. As one of the top seeds, Eala drew WTA number 69 Dana Vekic of Serbia in the round of 32 Monday after the ongoing qualifiers. Vekic, whose career high was at number 17, is also among the participants in the historic Philippine Women's Open slated on January 16 to 31 at the refurbished Rizal Memorial Tennis Center in Manila, where Eala is in line for a grand homecoming. World number 45 Tatiana Maria of Germany, number 55 Xinyu Wang of China and number 66 Solana Sierra of Argentina are also in as the country, thanks to the Philippine Sports Commission, PSC, becomes part of the WTA Tour for the first time ever. Eala, according to a Philippine Tennis Association announcement, has secured a wild card entry in the Manila Tilt. But her availability will depend on the result of the Australian Open, which kicks off its main draw on January 18, like the other top-ranked players. But first things first for Eala, which plunges to the ASB Classic as first of her 2 tests ahead of the Australian Open, where she is set for a main draw debut. Eala will also be in the Kuyang Classic from January 13 to 15 in Melbourne for her final pre-AO tourney. The lefty sensation earned a direct entry in the 103-player main draw as top 100 player in the world rankings after settling for wildcard invites in the qualifying rounds in the previous years. She bowed to Croatia's Jana Fet in round 1 last year, 7-5, 6-2. The Australian Open main draw remains as the only major Eala has not played in after strutting her stuff in the Wimbledon, French Open and US Open, where she became the first Filipino winner in any Grand Slam main draw last year following a stunning upset of world number 15 and 2025 ASB Classic champion Clara Tauson of Denmark, 6-3, 2-6, 7-6, 13-11. Eala won the Australian Open girls doubles crown in 2020, teaming up with Indonesian Pau Priska Madeline Nugroho. This underscored her caliber then as the world number 2 junior player before climbing to the women's pro as now one of the world's rising stars. Rising with momentum, Alex Eala seeded fourth at the 2026 WASB Classic. In the lush tennis surroundings of Auckland, where the ocean breeze whispers through the palms and the court lights glow beneath the summer skies, a new chapter is unfolding for one of Asia's most compelling young stars. At just 20 years old, Alexandra Alex Eala stands poised on the international tennis stage in a way few from her homeland have ever experienced, and now she enters the 2026 WASB Classic as the tournament's 4th seed, a symbol of her ascent from regional promise to global contender. Philstar.com. For those unfamiliar with her journey, this designation, seeded 4th, is more than a number in a draw. It is a testament to thousands of hours of training, a meteoric rise up the WTA rankings, and a young athlete's fearlessness in facing giants in the sport. It signals that the tennis world has taken notice of a Filipina whose passion, grit, and fearless baseline play have earned her a berth among the elite. Tennis 365. From rising talent to WTA seeded player. To understand the significance of Eala being seeded 4th in Auckland, one must trace the arc of her recent career, a story marked by breakthroughs, historic wins, and a steady climb up the world rankings. Not long ago, Eala was ranked outside the top 100 and competing in challenger-level events and ITF tournaments. But 2025 was a breakout year, one in which she captured her first significant professional title at the Guadalajara 125 Open, becoming the first Filipino to win a WTA-level singles crown. That victory not only boosted her confidence but also catapulted her toward mainstream recognition and upward movement in the rankings. Philstar life. Her momentum didn't stop there. On hard courts around the world, she kept challenging higher-ranked players, and in March 2025, she stunned crowds and her opponents at the Miami Open by defeating top-ranked players and advancing deep into the draw, an extraordinary feat for someone ranked outside the top 100. That run would forever change how the tennis community viewed her potential. South China Morning Post. By late 2025, her ranking had risen to the mid-50s, a meteoric climb by any professional standard, especially given the depth of talent on the WTA Tour. This ranking secured her direct entry into prestigious events, and now a seed at the ASB Classic, giving her a favorable place in the draw and marking her first major seeding in a WTA 250 event. Tennis 365. The ASB Classic, where dreams and experience collide. The ASB Classic in Auckland has long been a stage where legends and rising stars intersect. Past champions have included world-class players, and the tournament's atmosphere is electric, a perfect proving ground for someone like Eala. In 2026, the field includes a fascinating blend of experienced veterans and fresh challengers, from past champions to first-time seeds. ASB Classic. In the top 3 seed positions sit players with deep experience, names that have graced Grand Slam finals and climbed the world rankings. Eala's presence among them reflects not only her ranking but her growing reputation as a competitor who can rise to the occasion. For Eala, being seeded 4th is not merely about avoiding high seeds in the early rounds. It's about respect from the tour, recognition of her results, and acknowledgement of her potential to go deep into the tournament. The story behind the numbers. Many tennis fans might look at seeded 4th and see a ranking, but for Eala, this ranking carries a narrative of persistence, belief, and progress. Imagine a young girl picking up a racket in Manila, hitting balls with dreams far bigger than her surroundings, training under the sun with an unquenchable aspiration. From ITF circuits to breaking into the top 50 players in the world, Eala's story has been anything but conventional. The road to Auckland hasn't been all triumphs. There have been tough losses, close matches, and learning moments that tested her resilience and resolve. Matches where she led and slipped, or faced seasoned campaigners who knew how to exploit moments of youthful impatience. These setbacks, however, became part of her growth, each loss chiseling away doubt and sharpening her competitive edge. Philstar.com. Her journey is also one of broadening horizons and global experience. She's faced former Grand Slam champions, battled seasoned players from Europe and the Americas, and embraced the grind of long tournaments across continents. These experiences contribute to a maturity in her game, both tactically and mentally, that belies her age.